Ellen Jimenez,
Present.
Regina Salas. Yeah, she's here. Jennifer Grogan is excused. Cody Half Moon. Michael Marquez.
Here.
Jonathan Stone is excused. Jamie Thousand.
Here.
Perfect. As a reminder, if you're carrying a cell phone, computer, or other sound device, we ask that you turn it off to minimize any disruption to today's meeting. It's time for local check-in. Is Vice Mayor Aslan? No. Do we have any check-ins with our commissioners?
I'll tell you this, town's busy. Anecdotally, we are off to the races and having numbers that shouldn't happen until April, May. So
Wow, that's great.
at least while it's sunny. So it's, I don't know what's going on this year, but it's hitting early.
It's good.
And it doesn't appear to be skiers either. So it's different. We're confused on what's happening this year, but we're happy to have it.
You're getting a lot of families.
A lot of families.
Yeah.
So no spring breaks extending longer this year or what?
Well, usually it's like mid-March till mid-April, depending when Easter falls. Yeah, because we're seeing a lot of that too, so I'm glad they're making their way.
Again, happy to see the traffic.
Yeah.
Y'all are.
Hey there, this is Lori. Can I jump in?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Joining virtually. Hey, want to chime in on that conversation. Commissioner Marquez, thank you for sharing that. That's always really, really great to hear. It certainly is making me smile too. And I do want to add, just looking at some high-level spring training numbers. And spring training, I think you all can give the organization a head nod. You're aware of our involvement and our pursuit in attendees from the various home team markets as well as drive markets. But also want to share that the organization, the Cactus League organization, is reporting tentatively 5-digit gains. So if memory serves me correctly, right now they're tracking 40,000 more people than the previous year. So again, that's high level and loose still as numbers are still being cobbled by them. But it is making Metro Phoenix smile as well. So good to hear. That's it for me.
As a follow-up to that, Lori, I was listening to some guests in the lobby yesterday at the hotel talk about how they were up here visiting after going to baseball games.
Oh man, that just makes me smile. I just love it. And you know, it's baseball and apple pie, but again, Commissioner Marquez, our team sings a story of baseball and breweries. It's true. So anyway, thanks all.
Gina, you have a comment?
Yes, howdy everybody. I'm still in Washington D.C. area because I attended the National Association of Workforce Sports Conference over the weekend till Tuesday, and I'm staying here in D.C. to visit my younger son. Awesome news around workforce development and economic development perspectives across the nation. I learned more about and connected with experts on SNAP and employment and training, connecting work-based learning in communities, artificial intelligence in workforce development. Of course, all the federal policy updates related to the WIOA reauthorization, the Workforce Investment and Opportunities Act, building pathways to the middle class, driving technology, innovation, and partnerships, good jobs principle, and saying yes to no. No stands for new opportunities. So I'm going to say yes to no and let our commissioners know, and everyone who will access this meeting, is that I am your person. for our local area, Cucamonga County Workforce Board, in bringing federal dollars to your business in terms of employment training. It's whether it's upskilling your current employees, customized training specific to your businesses, on-the-job training, internship, or apprenticeships. So I am your direct connection to access those federal dollars. So please take advantage of those. So, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other comments, announcements? Now it's time for any public participation.
Let's see, we had somebody that was supposed to come on today, but I don't see them in the meeting. So you can.
Perfect. And then everybody should have received the minutes from February 22nd meeting. We can get an approval.
Move to approve the minutes.
Perfect. A second?
Second.
Excellent. And if we can get a vote? Aye. Perfect. All right, Heather, I see that you're on. Do you want to present the attractions report?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and share my screen if possible. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Madam Chair, Commissioners. My name is Heather Craig. I am the Marketing Operations Coordinator for Lowell, and I have your visitation attractions report for last month. And so here we have the raw data visitation. At the bottom, you can see January and February for 2024. And if you compare that to January and February of 2023, most locations are doing much better than 2023. So as you guys said earlier, we're seeing a much higher visitation rate than 2023 and 2022. And it's not just skiers. 2023 was a record snow year, and the visitation for Snow Bowl actually went down in January. And so it's really awesome to see that the visitation is up in January and February due to baseball, spring break, better weather, all of the things. Here is the visitation numbers graphed out. I did update this a little bit from last year's report. I put Arizona Snow Bowl on a separate axis, as you can see on the right-hand side of this graph. And so we can get a better look at all of the different locations, and they're not all crunched down at the bottom. And so again, we are seeing a good increase over 2023 for general visitation across all of our Northern Arizona locations. Here is the totals that do not include the Grand Canyon National Park. And I am still waiting on word in Mansion from the state. They're always quite a few months behind to get me those numbers. But even without that, we are overall doing significantly better than past years, especially in February. We're just seeing a massive increase, which is really awesome. And so I'm hoping that stays on trend for the rest of 2024. And then here's the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is pretty much on par for their numbers for 2022. They're not back at their 2019 record numbers, but again, that will be interesting to see what happens for the rest of 2024 to see if they make that increase back into 2019-ish numbers. And then here we have the weather. So our average temperature is kind of right at the middle of the pack for the max temperature. Our minimum temperature in 2024 is at the top of the pack from the past year. So we're seeing it be a little bit warmer. And then February did see a big increase in snowfall, not compared to 2019, but over the past 3 years, we've seen it's up there right in the middle. And then again, with for precipitation, 2023 kind of sitting right in the middle of the pack, not with any major outliers. And then here we have some upcoming events for our Northern Arizona attractions. Especially at Lowell Observatory, we have an astrophotography Q&A tomorrow with Dylan Short, our wonderful astrophotography teacher. And then coming up, as many of you guys have probably heard, and Discover Flagstaff has done a wonderful job of helping us promote, the 2024 Great American Solar Eclipse. We will be hosting an event at Lowell Observatory on April 8th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. When you buy your tickets, your solar classes are included. Remember that in Flagstaff, it will not be at totality. We'll get a partial solar eclipse, and then Flagstaff has been partnering with the city of Waco, Baylor, and Discovery, and they will be in Waco, Texas for the totality event, which will be streaming as well at Lowell. And so wonderful things coming up for the eclipse at the observatory. For Snow Bowl, they have their annual season passes. They're now on sale, as well as a Easter egg hunt this coming Sunday at noon. And so come up with the family, the little ones, and enjoy an Easter egg hunt at Snow Bowl. Flagstaff Extreme, they will be hosting the Big Pine Weekend trail runs on 6/22. They're looking for volunteers. If anybody is interested, visit flagstaffextreme.com for more information about that. And then Meteor Crater, as always, just being Meteor Crater and awesome. And haven't seen any big special events coming out of them recently. But if you haven't had a chance to go check out their new coffee house and new dining experience, I would highly suggest that. And then the Museum of Northern Arizona will be hosting a members preview night of the Horse and Rider, a Southwest Story exhibit on tomorrow. And so if you are a member of the Northern Arizona Museum of Northern Arizona, head out and do that and support M&A. So then here are all of the resources that I use to gather my data for this report. And thank you.
Thank you. You put a lot of work into getting this together for us. It's appreciated. There's some incredible data in there. And it's good to see that cycle just climbing up across the board. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is my pleasure. And I love putting data together and being able to present it to you guys. So
We love it. You love it.
That's me. I'm the data girl. Well, thank you guys.
And now we're going to hand this over to Trace to give the director.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Madams Chair, Vice Chair, Tourism Commission. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to present today. We're going to start with the slides. I'll let Ralph get it together. Thank you, Ralph. So we always provide you a mission, a vision, mission, and position statement, which we don't go over each month, but we provide that ahead of time for you. And Ralph, I don't see it any longer.
Yeah, it's acting up once.
Okay, no problem.
It's up.
There we go.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, and you can go ahead and switch it to the next slide. I also did send out, as I do every month, a star report for you on the hotel traditional accommodations, occupancy, ADR, demand, all of that kind of stuff for the month of February, which was pretty strong for demand for the marketplace. And so if you have any questions on that, you can always just shoot me an email, pick up the phone, whatever you want, text me, and I'm happy to chat with you about that. Ralph, next slide. We're going to start with Visitor Center information and data. So I'm going to turn it over to Jessica, and I'm here to support the team should there be any questions. Thanks.
Hello, Madam Chair, Commissioners. So I'll share our Visitor Center report for February. So this one looks at our walk-ins. So as you can see from the chart, we were up over February of 2023. Weekends being the busiest time for us in February, with people coming out playing with the snow. Even with lower attendance for our chocolate walk, which we talked about last month, we still were over by 5% over last February. So loving that. Next slide. Retail, similar story. Our retail sales were also up, a little greater percentage there that we saw. Route 66 has been like the top thing. So gearing up towards the centennial, top items we were selling were our Route 66 passports, our license plates, magnets, posters. People are just loving it. So for that, next slide. And then looking ahead, so starting to get into our event season at the Visitor Center as it warms up. So we're going to start participating in Art Walk again next week in April. We've got about 4 artists signed up, a couple more on the fence. So we'll have 4 to 6 artists showing their work at the Visitor Center. And then the Flagstaff Artisans Market, that we're rebranding what we had as the Indigenous Art Market, just to be more inclusive of more artists, to try to get that a little more consistent and have artists there every day or at least every weekend. So we've got call to artists going out. Charlie, our events lead, has been working on getting folks signed up. We are still going to push to try to get as many of the Indigenous artists that we can, but we have opened it up to any type of art. So if you know any local artists that need a venue to show their work, just send them our way and we'd be happy to sign them up for either the market or Art Walk or both. That wraps up my slides. Pass it to you. Is Jessica on virtually? Oh, yeah, she is.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Madam Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners. Jessica Young, Sales and Marketing Manager for Meetings and Events. Next slide. All right. So looking back at year to date so far, starting in July, 15 leads have gone out, 6 have booked so far. So we are trending right now to be at almost 50% of leads booking, which is awesome for this year, with a few months left to go. And there's a couple more in the works right now that are looking really good. For the booked room nights, we have 865 room nights that are booked and contracted for about $258,000. And you can see the lead total so far that are out to properties that are either out or lost business was just over 3,000. Next slide. For an update on these different bookings and what we have coming, trade shows and conferences. I attended the Small and Boutique Meetings Conference, as well as a AZSAE strategic planning meeting for the board meeting. At that meeting, I presented Flagstaff as the destination for the AZSA getaway in September. And we were accepted, so we will be bringing up that group here and showcasing several properties here in town. So I am excited about that. And then upcoming travel, we do have the Arizona DMO joint client event, Small and Boutique Meetings Spring in April. That was very successful in the fall. So we'll be attending that one in the Texas area in April, and then Destination West in June. And that one's typically held in Colorado, and we'll be in Colorado again this year. And that's drawing planners that are looking at the West with open RFPs. Next up are conference bookings and updates. So these are all the different groups that have booked in Flagstaff and will be coming this year. Titan X will be here in about, I guess it's a week and a half now. They'll actually be arriving on total eclipse day. So, or the partial eclipse day, which they were very excited about. They're coming in, some of them are coming in a night early to be able to see that. That is a 500-person group for 2 nights, and they selected Flagstaff for this incentive trip to take all 500 people to the Grand Canyon. So also partnering with Grand Canyon Adventures on that. So a great piece of business coming there. Cocodona 250. This is an annual event. This year they are expecting higher attendance. It is in May and it will be over graduation weekend. With the higher attendance, they added in 2 additional legs. So now there's a 250-mile run, and then they have other starting points. I think she said like a 150 and a 50-mile. So they're expecting around 875 total room nights with an average of 2 to 3 night stays for those crews and runners, and it all ends at Heritage Square. And then for the Geocache Woodstock is coming fast and furious. This one's getting awesome numbers so far. This will be over Memorial Day weekend. The first minor tiny event is Wednesday. Then they do build up. Saturday's the main event. And then most will leave Sunday and Monday for that. So far, they have 1,979 people registered, with anticipated numbers of that being just over 3,000, because some of those registrations are 2 per. In that sense, he said, and so far 47 states and 18 countries are in those registrations. So they're really excited that Flagstaff has such a draw. So this group has events booked in the evenings at Orpheum, Starlight Lanes, Flag Tag, Museum Club, the main events at Pepsi Amphitheater. And then they're really on their own just to geocache and explore the area all of the days that they're here. And 2 of their adventures that are called cache adventures include a Route 66 adventure. And then they also created a brewery adventure, and we'll share the information for the app as well. So they will tag in on the app as well as their own geocaching app and finish at the visitor center to get those pint glasses. So hopefully you'll see a big uptick Memorial weekend with all of these people running around. And then next up, Double Reed Society will be here in July, the 21st to 25th. So this group is averaging 4 to 5 nights and expecting 500 to 600 attendees. They opened registration a few weeks ago and it's looking strong. We did group a military reunion group that's staying for 4 nights for 30 rooms a night. And then the International Conference on Software Maintenance and Evolution selected Flagstaff. This is also a conference with people coming from all over the world in partnership with some professors at NAU helping get it here. And they're expecting around 450 attendees in October. And then I did work with a marching band with 6 buses that will be here in October. Just so everyone knows, NAU is hosting the Bands of America in October. So we'll probably see an uptick in those marching bands at that very first week of October as well. So definitely been busy in groups, but I think it's looking really good. And I think we're going to have a busy summer and fall as well. And then lastly, for advertising, this will be an ad on the back of NAU Alumni's Pine magazine, calling out Jack, saying, hey, we know you attend conferences and meetings. Why don't you bring them to Flagstaff? Come visit, get a trip back to your alumni town. And so we're excited to see how this one does, and also think that it could be creative that we use potentially locally as well. So kind of calling out, hey, Flagstaff, we know you go to things, bring them back here. And bring those groups here to attend in your hometown. So more to come on that. And I think next up is Meg Roederer. So I will hand it off if I don't have any questions.
Thank you, Jessica.
All right, thank you.
Hello, everybody. Meg Roederer, Global Travel Trade Manager. First, I want to update you on a couple of things that you may be aware of in the works. We have Air France that is bringing seasonal flights. Those are nonstop. They'll start May 23rd. It'll go direct from Charles de Gaulle in Paris to Phoenix. And then we have our Frankfurt, Germany Condor flight that is also seasonal, and it's nonstop to Phoenix as well. And then we have the American Airlines British Airways flight that's been around for a while that goes nonstop Heathrow, London to Phoenix. So just to give you a little outlook there, that we have more visitors coming to our state. Next slide, please. So missions and trade shows, I'm covering a couple months here, January, February, and March. So I had the Arizona Office of Tourism Los Angeles Receptive Tour Operator Sales Mission, and that went really well. I interacted with tour operators from European, Japanese, and other international markets, and we promoted Arizona as a single state itinerary. I had networking events, presentations, luncheons, and there was a trade show component as well, and also did a display table. Really successful LA mission. We also had partners there from the Ascend Capital Management, as well as Little America Hotel. Experience Scottsdale, Discover Gilbert, and Front Burner Media, who represents Sedona, Williams, Cottonwood, and Prescott. It was a great opportunity with meeting with over 33 receptive tour operators. And then it was off to the Go West Summit in 2024. That was at Lake Tahoe, Nevada. This was an industry suppliers event for buyers and suppliers, and you can see some of my meeting appointments there. And I met with folks from all over the world, and it was unlike other events because we had business to business one-on-one appointments. They've been Go West has been doing this for over 35 years. They know what they're doing. They've been really high quality appointments, and really was able to get Flagstaff into some top market appointments, and offer our wonderful community and for both the domestic and international tour operators. So it was a wonderful event. I had more than 45 appointments, and I think I met over like 100 people at networking events between all the luncheon sessions and events with the industry professionals. Other DMOs that attended, Ascend Capital Management was there, Visit Tucson was there, Verde Valley Railroad, Antelope Canyon Tours, Visit Phoenix, Explore Kingman, Go Lake Havasu, Experience Scottsdale, Gilbert, and again from Burner Media. So Arizona had a very strong representation at the Go West Summit just to draw visitation to our state. It was successful and really valuable because then we create our products to draw visitation here to increase our bookings. So yes.
Question. Did you hear, what are they saying on their side? Are they seeing an uptick in travel requests?
It depends on who you talk to. But I'd say overall, the request for the Southwest is strong. They want to bring more visitation to the state of Arizona. The draw of the diversity of our state and landscapes are very appealing. So I was able to connect with quite a few that hadn't connected with us for a while due to previous years and the lower visitation of the pandemic, but pretty much back to pre-pandemic levels. And the interest in the state of Arizona was extremely strong across the board.
Do you see kind of more of an interest in the state as a whole or interest in the Grand Canyon?
I would say in northern Arizona, the interest for the Native American culture, the Grand Canyon, are gems of some of the national monuments. They're like, really, tell me more about that. So they want to get to locations that are less traveled, less unknown. And they're booking further out in advance.
Good.
Yeah, it's really great.
Did you find it to be more helpful that more entities from Arizona?
I did. With the Arizona Office of Tourism, they did a special event, which drew those folks that I didn't get an opportunity to have a one-on-one appointment with were at the event. So then I was able to meet with them there. So that's why I say I probably met over 100 people in the industry to really get our messaging out there to get those bookings up. Yeah. You already went to the next slide. So been busy with site inspections and some meetings and some fans. So Jessica Young and I have been meeting with some of our industry stakeholders. We did a couple of site tours. We gone to the Hyatt Place Flagstaff. It's fairly new. It opened in October 2022. It's off Milton, near the Dairy Queen, and Grand Canyon Adventure Tours. It's a lovely property if you haven't been there to check that out. We also went over to Spring Hill Suites by Marriott and Courtyard Marriott, as well as Sonesta ES Suites. So a lot happening there. It's wonderful to meet with our industry partners. I mean, that's why we do this, so we can make sure that we know our products and can really market those well. I also had partner meetings with the Americana Motor Hotel, Lowell Observatory, and Doubletree by Hilton. And Jessica Young and I do these meetings together so that we can really represent Discover Flagstaff and our tourism industry and get their messaging. In addition to that, industry meetings, mostly virtual, some in person, hotel beds, Brand USA and IPW are just to name a few. And then I've had a couple of fans. One was with Voyageurs du Monde, and we had 3 ladies here just here on Sunday, and they were touring our area to get more information about our products and services. It's a large tour company, so they'll bring that back and hopefully get more information about Flagstaff on their sites for those travel agencies. And then I've got one for CRD Touristique, and they're out of Germany, and that is through the Arizona Office of Tourism, and they will receive actually meeting with them tomorrow. We'll be at the visitor center and do a tour around town and let them know of our products as well. So busy there. Next slide. Marketing. So we've had really successful results from Visit USA France programs. They've reported 174 module graduates. What this means is that training for travel agents abroad. So working with Visit USA France Committee, it's a membership organization in which we have representatives, we supply them content so that their travel agents are familiar with the Flagstaff product. And they have to go through a training program and then they graduate. So very successful there. That campaign has been great. Also working with Visit USA France, so they did a Paris event. So we have a representative actually in Paris. I provide that representative content. They have a conference or a luncheon, and then they share our product. So it's almost an extension of us, very much so. So very successful there. And another training day in Paris as well. We publish Vacations and Travel magazine. We have our website and our e-newsletter there on their site, as well as advertorial. It's the second image on the screen there, and it is the Stay, Plays, and Stargaze article, and we're number 6 out of the 40 destinations represented in that publication. That publication has a 400,000 reach, and their readership is 63% couples, 37% millennials, and 81% travel international each year. So it's a great publication to have representation in. In addition, we also did the National Geographic Explorer UK, which I do have an actual magazine. For those online, you probably can't see it, but this is our ad. It's a full page ad. It's that first one, and it's really using the duality campaign and integrating the As Grand As It Gets, which translates so well to an international audience, really showcasing where we are located and what we have to offer. So I will be happy to keep those. Just doing this publication has really helped get our name out there. I'll probably do it again with National Geographic Explorer. They also partner with the Evening Standard in UK. It's their regular publication. So that advertisement also ran in their special travel piece as well. So it's a full page advertisement as well. And that goes to, turn the page here and I'll get you that stat. Over 300,000 copies were sent to the UK audience for their publication. And it's primarily read by affluent people in London and the surrounding countries. So fairly highly used to get great exposure in some of the advertising that we've done. I wanted to mention there was an ATI, American Tours International webinar, in which, again, it's travel agency training. And we presented along with the Arizona Office of Tourism virtually. And we really did a great presentation, and each destination got an opportunity to showcase their Arizona location. The attendees included Experience Scottsdale, Tucson, Williams, and as well as Phoenix and Gilbert. And then lastly, I wanted to mention, I did send out the newsletter for trade. Went to over 2,600 emails in distribution. And it is a trade publication, so you may not have seen it locally. I believe I did include Commissioner Marquez on that email because I mentioned specifically Mother Road with the Route 66 Centennial. If you are interested in getting on that newsletter list, let me know, and I'll make sure that you get the next issue, which is scheduled for spring 2024 later in April. Okay, any questions, other questions on this slide? All right. Moving on to the next slide, just looking ahead, I have an Arizona Office of Tourism Canada mega fam. I will have over 12 individuals coming for one night. They're going to travel to Phoenix as well. They'll be in Flagstaff one night on Sunday, April 14th, in which they will go to one of our restaurants as well as tour downtown. So then they'll have an opportunity to go to Lowell Observatory as well. I wish I had them for longer, but I'm happy to have them for the one night. Visit USA Parks fam, and that's also in cooperation with Arizona Office of Tourism. They'll be here a couple of days in April. They'll actually on their itinerary is to go and enjoy Mother Road and Satchmos. So we'll have that going on. Another fam, the spring newsletter I mentioned. We have a Selling Travel magazine that will have an ad in there. It'll be a half-page ad. That is the leading travel trade publication. It launched in 1990, and it provides travel retailers in the UK with the tools and information to inspire them to sell more, travel to our destination. And again, that's in the UK. And of course, we have the Los Angeles IPW, our big event coming up. And as you see there, there is a Route 66 sign that our creative team has helped put together. It is large. It is about 3 feet wide, and it can go up to 6 feet high. Is that right, Ralph? Yeah. And it will stand on a pole and be.
It's LED neon.
LED. Leon, as they like to call it. So, so that's being produced now. We'll take it for our booth at IPW, which will be super, super fun to have, and supporting the Route 66 campaign. I just sell the Route 66 campaign, and as it comes, because there's so much excitement around it with the Centennial coming up. And then lastly, I'm headed out to Mexico for an Arizona Office of Tourism Trade and Media Mission coming up in a couple of weeks. So if there are any other questions.
You're killing it.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. Turn it over to the next presenter, which will be Ryan Randazzo.
Thanks. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Ryan Randazzo in Media Relations. A little bit slow in February, but definitely things are picking up. In that month, we hosted 2 journalists. Jackie Agate of Wanderlust Magazine came to town. She visited Mother Road. She stayed at Little America. She went to Meteor Crater. She had a really nice visit at Lowell. So we haven't seen what she's produced yet, but that seemed to be a hit. We also had Jane Bradley of Parents Canada. That's a parenting website. She went to Grand Canyon, Salsa Brava, Fat Bagels, and the monuments, and seemed to have a good time. She was traveling with her husband. So again, haven't seen the coverage from that yet. But like I said, suddenly things are a whole lot busier than for me this month and the next couple than they were in February. Next slide, please, Rob. Highlights of coverage, the total numbers, there was a lot of people talking about Flagstaff during the month. And a lot of that, like in January, was focused on Lowell. So I think you're all aware that the state legislature has a bill proposing to make Pluto the official state planet. And that first got picked up. It was really strange. I talked to some partners of like why the AP wasn't covering it out of the gates, but a small news organization in Phoenix called Axios, it's a 3-person shop. They do a newsletter and then that contributes to the national Axios page. So they picked it up, and after that story ran, I didn't know this, but MSN runs Axios. So it's sort of a good media lesson, like don't disregard the smaller outlets because once it reached MSN, that has a total reach of 135 million people. And that is like half of the media coverage that Flagstaff got for the month. There were some other things, science and history on display, ran in AARP. They are very hard to get earned media with, so that was great. Total readership of 16 million people. Congratulations to Fat Olives and Beaver Street for making the Yelp list. So Yelp published the top 100 pizza spots. And again, it's a good media lesson. That was great to have in Yelp, but it got picked up by so many different outlets, including iHeartRadio all throughout the Metro Phoenix area. So very awesome to have that story running and having Flagstaff mentioned, in that context. And then this is the last one. I don't want to nerd out too much, and I hope that our partners at Lowell aren't rolling their eyes as I try to describe this. But Radio Lab is a segment on National Public Radio, and they did one of the coolest segments I've ever listened to about how one of their scientists / journalists was tucking his kid in at night and noticed on his sheets this weird label that said Zuzube. And being a scientist, he's like, I don't think there's such a thing in space, and started researching this. And long story short, but she explored for 42 minutes, Zuzube wasn't something. The artist that made these children's sheets had misnamed something that was discovered at Lowell. And it's a quasi-moon. And again, I'm really hopeful that our Lowell partners aren't rolling their eyes as I try to explain this. But a quasi-moon is something that doesn't orbit a planet like a regular moon. So NPR for 42 minutes is awesome. They mentioned Lowell, but that story has been picked up all over the place. Space.com, NASA has reported on it, radio stations have reported on it. And as I'm highlighting here, there was one syndicated columnist in the Midwest, and his story about the Radio Lab segment got 390,000 eyeballs on it. And all of them mentioning Flagstaff and Lowell Observatory, and that's where this was discovered. So some very positive things there. I did not, I'm also the film office here. I don't have a slide for that. We didn't do any permits last month, but I do have one that I approved this month, and weather cooperating, that should get shot this weekend in Buffalo. It's a very good opportunity. So we'll see if that happens or if they rebook, and I'll follow up with you all on that at the next meeting. So any questions? Okay, thanks.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, Isabel Malino, Social Media Manager here. So for February, we did kind of have a slower month on our Facebook accounts. I did try some trends here, as you can see in that middle photo. It's just some, I call them crappy Valentine's Day cards, but it's a meme that's been around since like 2014. So I wanted to hop on this, and it got some pretty good reviews, some good likes, some good comments on there. I also did a post for Valentine's Day celebrating Arizona's birthday as well. And then our first Then and Now post came out, which is woo. That got us a lot of engagements and a lot of reach. And I've noticed we have had quite a stagnancy in our followers on our Facebook accounts, but every time I post a Then and Now, it goes up. So we're gonna keep doing that. All right, next slide, please. So for our Instagram this month, so I did push responsible visitation quite hard as we got a couple good storms for snow. So really trying to get that out there, get the message out. I'm trying to play with new ideas on how to get that message out, perhaps in a video format, but still working on it. We are still also seeing the effects of the viral video from Arizona, so we're still getting some followers on that. In total, it gave us over 17,000 followers, so that's pretty cool, I would say. Also pushed out the Arizona Beer Week pretty hard on our social accounts. I did one post every day of Beer Week for each brewery, if that makes sense, so I did a little highlight on them. as well as like itineraries, events, stuff like that. Also, I Heart Pluto was pushed quite intensely on our socials. We did a couple collaborative posts with Lowell. They did a collaborative video with us. I also pushed out organically a post for I Heart Pluto as well. We did a feature on Steep as a video on there. I don't have the videos up here, but check them out on our Instagram. But we did do a feature with Steep. I also did a feature with the Weatherford. So we did Weatherford and Charlie's. And then also we got our CrowdWorth Creators videos in. So I don't know if you guys remember the CrowdWorth Creator program. So CrowdWorth will send out a creator to shoot for us. So I don't have to go out to every single location and flag. So we got some of our videos back. So this next month coming up, we'll see some videos created with creator content, which is pretty cool, something new. Next slide, please. So HAPS was performing pretty well in February with a pretty high average open rate of 37%. I didn't have last year's data for this month, so it's kind of just the 24 numbers, but it's going up. I will let you know. I did try a post on our socials promoting the Flagstaff 365 and the HAPS, and it got us maybe about 10 more subscribers after that post. So I'll keep going each month, do one post a month, hopefully get that subscriber count up. Next slide, please. All right, looking ahead, as you can see at the Weatherford, Route 66 Centennial, our first post did go out on March 1st. That actually did very well. Just to give you a heads up, about 70,000 impressions. So, woo, pretty big. Weatherford Hotel and Charlie's video. I also did a feature with Morning Glory Cafe and the station this past month. I also did a feature with Baha Mar. I am starting to push out festival content. I'm trying to get ahead on all of the festival content as much as I can anyways. So continuously working on that. Also pushing out the eclipse. So very excited about the eclipse. Pushing out that. Again, responsible visitation and responsible snow play. As always, one of our bigger pillars. And then also some more then and now posts. Our most recent one that went out did really well, almost 600,000 impressions, but we'll save that for next month. And on top of the CrowdWorth Creators items, we have a video for Kokio coming up, Flag Extreme, and Fat Bagels. So yeah, some cool things to look forward to. All right, that's all I got. Any questions for me? No? All right, cool.
All right, Lori, is it yourself or Sabrina or?
Hi, Trace. Yes, it is moving over to Sabrina. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Betty Beard, Marketing Specialist for Discover Flagstaff. I have a really exciting update on our February newsletter for Flagstaff Local. The last couple of months, I've been talking about how I'm trying really hard to experiment with different days and times of sending it out, trying to surpass the 50% benchmark we've seen here and there. I've sent it at 8:30 before. I don't know what was so special about this 8:30. It was a similar day. I'm going to keep trying more experimentation, but we got a 78% open rate, which we haven't seen before. So that was really exciting. And again, we've sent it at 8:30 in the morning. We've sent it on a Wednesday morning. So just going to keep trying to send it maybe earlier in the week, maybe try an earlier time like 8 a.m. and see how that performs and try to keep it at this higher open rate. We also had a high click-through rate of 4%, just further showing that our readers are really engaged with our content. 1% is the benchmark set by the industry average. And then our top clicks went to the Flagstaff ecotourism landing page. People were also very interested in the Aravaipa Cocodona 250 race website. That is because we raised awareness in the action section about how they included our Pledge Wild link, and they're encouraging their runners that are signing up to donate, and they are responding very well. So our readers liked that as well. And then with events coming up, we have the Flag 365 calendars, the third most clicked item. So hoping to keep that open rate high for our next meeting. We'll go to the next slide, please. For our Discovery Flagstaff email, I wish that I could say that the open rate was as high as the Flagstaff local, but it is higher than last month. It's slightly lower than February last year, but we had a 42% open rate with a 17% growth in our audience year over year. We met the benchmark at that 1%, definitely trying to align our subject headlines with our content so that our readers that are opening are clicking more. Also experimenting with those day and time sending. We've continued the drip process for both the dining and outdoor audience, and we've also now added an event drip. So our dining drip has less readers than our outdoor drip, but we are seeing higher open rate and click-through rate there. So very excited to see that. We'll see what happens with events. And then we also updated our colors. So now that it's spring, the blue is going to be green, just to kind of stand out from other email campaigns and fight any kind of stagnancy. We also don't want to have ad fatigue. We want our content to always be new and fresh and exciting. So this is the last blue email that you will see until winter comes back around. Let's go to the next slide, please. For the Beer Week sweepstakes, I'm so excited to share that we doubled in our entries. And what's really cool about that is we updated the entry process. It used to be 1 entry per person per day. We had an unfortunate run-in with some spam entries during our winter stay and play. So we updated it moving forward. So now it's only 1 entry per person and that's it. So this is only 1 person per entry. So just very excited to see that it doubled because we do see a lot of repeat entries in our previous sweepstakes. And this was supported with paid digital and print, and of course our website and social media and email campaigns. Let's go to the next slide, please. A nice couple from Tucson, and they just picked it up today. And I have a cute picture that Isabel took that I will send out, but they were very appreciative.
They were so excited.
Yes.
They were like, it's a big box and it's a cooler full of just beer stuff. They were here right before the meeting.
It would make me
So,
happy.
They were just jumping up and down, thrilled. I mean, so I just want to share that. They were very excited. So
It was a
when we
nice-
put that prize package together. It made an effect on them.
Good, I'm so glad. Yeah, it was a big grand prize package. In addition to all of the many variety of items that were gifted by all the breweries, there was a huge cooler from Dark Sky to nicely package everything in. And it's a nice cooler. So it's a massive grand prize. And I'm glad that it went to someone that really appreciated it, has been really excited to come up and book a hotel stay and spend the night and go to the breweries and enjoy their prize package. So thank you for your gift donation and for your partnership.
There was a cooler, we just partnered with Canyon Cooler. It's been several years, but we're doing a major push this year. So
That's exciting.
keep that in the back pocket if we need something again.
Yeah, okay. And then last slide here, just to look ahead. Continuing on website updates. Now that it's spring, it's time to start updating summer content. We're looking into events and just fact checking, making sure everything is still relevant and updated. Continuing Route 66 Centennial support for the email campaigns, specifically for Discover Flagstaff. We did build in a new section just for Route 66. So we January and February had a couple teasers to get people excited. I do believe in January it was one of our top clicked. So now it has its own section and we'll see how that goes. But it's a kind of slowly month by month to build out their itinerary. So every month is going to feature a different attraction or restaurant or hotel. And then I'm finally wrapping up this 66 things to do on Route 66 poster. It has been a labor of love. I'm feeling really good about it. So I'm excited to share more as we start the design side of things.
Do you have a preview of the list of the 66 items?
I can share a little preview list. I have a very rough draft Word document.
I was just curious if you were doing like historical spots mixed with modern commercial spots and different things in between.
Yeah, we have a good mix. I can send over a draft, and if there's anything that you see that's missing, please let me know, since it's still in the draft stages. I've sent several lists to my team to go over hotels and attractions and restaurants and get some extra eyes, and it's finally coming together. And so now that we have this poster, we're going to get started on the graphic design side of things. So it's going to be a digital poster on the website. And then we're also talking about creating a tangible brochure, a little flip book to hand out at the visitor center. So that's similar to our visitor guide. We can categorize by hotels and restaurants and so on. And then it can even include a little bit more content since we'll have more space to work with. Jessica recommended adding a map, like a downtown walking map for Route 66, which was a really good suggestion. And Isabel brought up maybe including a QR code to link back to things to make it easier for people to find more information. So we're taking our original Route 66 poster and we're just really running with some new ideas this year.
Sean Evans over at the archives would be the guy. If you want anything quirky, he'll find something unique.
Okay. You can write that down.
And will all of this be included in the passport too?
Yeah, so now I'm going through the passport and I'm making sure that the list that's on the poster is going to mimic what's on the passport so they can work in tandem. And I'm working with Banduango. I'm wrapping up with the spreadsheet template that they have. So now just getting to the fun landing page descriptions and trying to get people to sign up kind of information. And yeah, there was a bit of back and forth about how we would make the passport work since there's different ways of check-in. So they can check in with GPS or they can check in with a code. We're making it the same as our Trails Passport where they just check in with the GPS, and then we're keeping the point system the same, and we're looking into prizes right now to have at the visitor center. Carrie, thank you for helping with prizes. It's very much appreciated. So yeah, lots of Route 66 things happening, so I'll have more updates next month as well. For our email campaigns, we're currently running on Constant Contact. We feel that we're getting to a point where we're outgrowing Constant Contact. We'd like to see some more capabilities available. So looking into some additional platforms. If anyone has any suggestions, please feel free to share them. But I'm looking everywhere online for new platforms that have all the capabilities that Constant Contact has and more. Of course, festival marketing support, updating those landing pages, getting with all the festival organizers to get their information. We're getting ready to launch the sweepstakes as well. National Travel and Tourism Week, I'm sure it's already on your guys' calendars, but we do have our pickup date planned. They moved the National Travel and Tourism Week because I guess it was interfering with IPW dates. So our pickup date is May 22nd. If you guys want to mark your calendars, we'll be sending out invites very soon. And that will also be Route 66 related. We have some chunks of Route 66 that we're talking to sustainability there that are in need. So we'll be hitting those areas to add a little more hype to the centennial. Also coordinating.
Yes, we're planning to use the Route 66 sign at different events, including having it live sometimes at the Flagstaff Visitor Center and using it in all different venues. So there may be an opportunity to, check out the sign. We'll see how that develops.
That sounds awesome. And we'll have partnership for that pickup with Starlight Lane since they're celebrating 66 years on 66. So wanted to help support them and celebrate that as well. We're also coordinating Channel 3 lifestyle segments, so more to come on that very soon as that's in the early planning stages. Updating that Trails Passport to highlight spring recommended trails. We did that for fall leaf peeping, and we added some fun, cute little yellow leaf emojis, and we did see a serious increase in our signups and in the check-ins. So we're gonna do that with spring as well and hope that we get same or better results. And then I think I already mentioned sweepstakes, so I'll hand it off to Lori Pappas unless anyone has any questions.
Good.
Good things are happening. Very excited. Yes. Okay, I'll hand it off to Lori.
Yeah. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Just want to do a friendly hello and a wave, and I'm going to turn the camera off. But Flagstaff team, it's so nice. It's just being away from home always is a little challenging, makes you miss home. But I guess my point is just it's so nice to hear all of the great things, accomplishments that are happening. And Sabrina, I know you're doing a lot of heavy lifting with that Route 66, and there are definitely team members that are also in the pits with you, but in the pits, like the car pits, what do you call them?
Oh, that's funny.
That was good. That was good. It just happened. It just happened, commissioners. It just happened. But I didn't get that camera off. All right. Anyway, some fun things there. So thanks all. Super good. All right. So where have I been? What kind of accomplishments do we have to share for the balance of today's team presentation? I only have one screen, Ralph. So are you looking at the screen that has February's paid digital results?
Yep, that's.
Good deal. Okay, thank you. All right. Taking a deep dive as far as some results for February's paid digital. We are looking at 1.3 million impressions served. The average click-through rate was 0.44. Looking at the various thumbnails in front of you, the highest performing creative was are represented in these 4 looks. So the Arizona beer sweeps had a click-through rate of 0.556, and that was the strongest performing creative for the month of February. As Grand as It Gets had a 0.48. And we also did some retargeting with that, and that earned a 0.51. So that creative is just a darling. It's just charming. It's creating those impressions, earning some demand there. Spring training, equally as successful, had a 0.45 click-through rate. Looking at Flagstaff 365, I Heart Pluto had a 0.45 click-through rate as well. So really some good, strong performance. In regard to Beer Week, also for video, wanted to share its success, and it had a 0.48 click-through rate. And the video completion, so people enjoying the video from beginning to end, was at 86%, and our goal is 80%. So again, the content is resonating. Next slide, please. All right. Not going to read the slides. You all have seen the good news here. Let's see, I'm going to talk about domestic engaged sessions. And when we talk about engaged sessions, these are acquisition metrics. So our engaged sessions increased 23%. So good growth there. Where were these sessions coming from? Metro Phoenix, of course, always performs well. I shouldn't say always, but a strong performer in this case. Tempe increased to 4,800 sessions. Los Angeles had 3,800 sessions. Vegas doubled from February of 2023 in comparison to February 23. They grew to 1,737 sessions. Chicago, also good. And again, that kind of speaks to spring training, not kind of, I'm just going to say it does. It speaks to spring training and the team's efforts. as well as the destination as a whole. You know, our partners and stakeholders too, they're all rowing in that direction too. We also saw some good growth from San Diego, Dallas, and Tucson. Looking at the international market, also had some growth. Canada had 1,260 engaged sessions, and that grew from 932 last year. Mexico had almost 1,400 sessions, which grew from 642 last year. India is being recognized as an emerging market. It had 311 sessions, and UK had 713 sessions. We'll go to the next slide. If there are hands out, I'm trusting somebody, or hands up, I'm trusting somebody will let me know. Next slide, please. Looking at page views, some of our top performing pages include our webcams. That increased to almost 11% to 114,000 views. Things to do increased 8% with almost 18,000 views. Homepage increased 17%. Dining and nightlife had big wins too. They had 1,713 views. And events and winter rec, you know, we've heard a little bit from the team about the snow and what it's meant. And it too also had nice increases. There were, you know, we hear from Sabrina in regards to our database and how it's growing. Part of that growth comes from opt-ins from our website. So there were 217 opt-in addresses received for the month of February, and there were 352 visitor guide requests. Outbound links were strong, and in descending order, Flagstaff Snow Park was the #1 outbound link, followed by Arizona Snow Bowl. And then we also had our national monuments. England Bed and Breakfast was up there, as well as the Lowell Observatory. And there were about 3,900 outbound links. We'll go to the next slide. This kind of mirrors what I was mentioning, but it's just nice to see it, I think, in this visual to really have some separation. I mean, you can just really visually see the growth here. So things that make me happy. Next slide, please. Are we on dining and nightlife?
Yes.
Good deal, Ralph. Thank you. Again, that's a big story right here. So makes me smile. 205% increase year over year. All right, let's take a look at ahead. What's looming? I'm gonna go. I can't see. Maybe I can. Okay. Let's see. We have spring break, 365. We are looking, or for the month of March, am I looking at the right slide? We've got the 365 ad that supported the film festival. Am I speaking to the right slide, guys?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then As Grand as It Gets. So this creative, so yeah, this has March creative on it. With the looking ahead, I think this is a little dated, right? Should have April.
Right now.
What's that?
Happening right now. In March.
Oh, I got you. I hear what you're saying. Yep. All right. Okay, looking ahead, Palm Springs billboard. I think you all have heard me talk about that maybe last month. Wanted to share that did make it through procurement, and we will be running the As Grand as It Gets creative on that. It'll be the same creative that you had seen prior that's running in Los Angeles. Also coming up, D Magazine will also support the As Grand as it gets creative. Let's look at the next slide.
We are now on festivals, Lori.
Perfect. Thanks. The festival creative is running in Phoenix Magazine, and I believe that is in the May-June issue. And that pushes out maybe the third week in April. So this creative, I believe, has been tweaked to the comments that commissioners made last time it was shared. Any comments here, guys, team, commissioners? Looking good? Does this make you happy? Noticing the changes that were made? We did some more pride, right? This, you guys, I'm sorry, it's really microscopic on my screen. We pulled the flag, the country's flag up. Not hearing anything, so I think I'm getting head nods. We're happy.
It
All
looks
right.
Good.
Good, thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Ship it, Dano.
There we go. All right. Next slide, please. All right. You guys, this is in response to your idea. So commissioners suggested putting together a campaign for things to do when people are in market and weather is inclement. Ring a bell? Good, 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 good. Super cute. I hope you guys love it. I'm eager, we're eager to hear your input on this, but it's kind of like the Home Alone. It's like, oh, you know, weather has changed. What's to do in Flagstaff? I was planning on spending my time outdoors. Can't do that. So what's next? So headline reading, did Mother Nature change your plans? Things to do. What do you think?
Looks great.
All right. I think, and actually even the agency that's preparing to push these ads out when we're ready, they have not pushed a series of ads out like this. So again, I think Flagstaff is ahead of the curve. Commissioners, I really, really appreciate your idea here, and I think it's going to be super productive with the results. So we've updated the landing page that this points to, and it just has all kinds of tiles for indoor activities, regardless of age. Good, good. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide. How are we doing on time?
I got about 10 minutes.
Oh, there we go. All right. Another creative that the team has been working on and eager to hear your input is a evolution of the Wipe the Smile on Your Face campaign. I don't know if you remember, but the Wipe the Smile used to be kind of in a, what we call a wood cookie. So it was like a cut within a tree stump, and it had some wood grain in it. And then there was the font treatment in that. The creative team here morphed the wood cookie into a napkin, which blends, right? It lends itself to dining, and then separating some of the content with a fork, really calling attention to this is a dining ad for Flagstaff. The image that you see on the top is a stock photo. We will have the ability to change out the photos with imagery from Flagstaff. We are in the process of getting an updated photo library. In the meantime, it's probable, it's likely, it's possible that we will use some stock photos to get us through until we get a more robust library. While the photos along the bottom, the 3 thumbnails, those will be very authentic from the get-go. And then we call out some recognition, some award recognition below. The QR code takes the user to the dining landing page, and there we have it. What are your thoughts?
It's making me hungry.
Oh, well, I like that. I like that. Are you happy with it? Do you like this evolution? You know, we'll push out in Metro Phoenix. This will also push out locally. Think about this, and it may need some layout tweaking. But we do also run on the NAPTA buses. So it will have some different tactical executions. It will live digitally as well, lives on our website. But this is just a look and just wanting to get your thoughts. It sounds like, am I getting the head nod is a good thing? Heidi loves it. Good. Thanks, Heidi.
Yeah, it's nice.
Good. All right.
I think it looks great.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Next slide. All right. Looking ahead, be fire aware, working very hard, not only with a video provider, but also digitally as well. And then also with the Arizona Republic in regards to Be Fire Aware. So we're procuring contracts. Think of the restaurant ad that you saw. Think of Be Fire Aware. These subject matters, these creatives will soon be living and coming alive in an Arizona Republic freestanding insert. It's a FSI. It's a fancy acronym for an insert into a newspaper. So we'll be doing that, and that should be dropping the Sunday following Mother's Day. I believe that could be May 19th. That'll be a four-page insert. Any comments there? Great. Pet friendly. Hey, are you all aware that USA Today recognized our destination as the #1, the most dog friendly vacation destination in the country? Not #2. Yeah. #1. #1, you guys, I'll say that again. The most dog-friendly vacation destination in the country. All right. That is super, super cool. So as you would imagine, we super hyper mobilized because we knew we were going to be getting some click-throughs. So we've optimized content. Pet-friendly hotels in Flagstaff are some of the keywords that we're working on. Hotels that allow pets, hotels in Flagstaff that allow dogs, and the list continues. So really trying to get as much mileage out of that as possible, and have also asked USA to outbound link to us. So awaiting an answer from that or for that as well. Let's see, lifestyle segments. Sabrina had mentioned a little bit about this. For the month of May, we are collaborating with Channel 3, and all of these are with Channel 3. A segment on high altitude training and festivals in May. September, a segment on Route 66 as we move into fall, and then a Lowell Observatory segment in preparation for the ADC unveiling. In addition to Channel 3, we're also securing a segment with Channel 12, both of which aren't mentioned on here, but those will be for Be Fire Aware. So it's all about responsible visitation. So we're pivoting instead of responsible snow play and winter recreation. Now it's responsible Be Fire Aware messaging. In regards to website, it's optimizing, as I had mentioned, for pet friendly. We're also leveraging, further leveraging spring training and family-friendly things to do in addition to festivals. Next slide, please. Important dates, you all had a moment to take a look at these. Not going to belabor this, but please let us know if you can be joining us on our community cleanup, and there will be more communication as these dates approach. And please save the date for our annual partner meeting, November 6th. Next slide. Burr, burr, burr. 8 minutes to spare.
You're amazing and the team is amazing. So thank you all
Yes.
so much. Madam's Chair, Vice Chair, Tourism Commission, thank you for letting us present today. We will turn it back over to you, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Trace. Thank you all for all the amazing info that you shared today and all the work that you are putting into making sharing our destination amazingness to everybody. Do you have anything?
Did we ever get a date to go to Lowell? Did I miss that?
No. Did we get a date to go up and tour Lowell?
We as a team have done that about, oh boy, I don't know, 2 months ago, a month ago, I don't recall. But sorry, a lot of stuff in my head, it gets binary. So I'm not sure if we were supposed to set that up for the Tourism Commission. Is that something we were supposed to do? Because we can.
I think Cody was gonna set something up for us.
I thought it was Cody. Yeah.
Okay.
I can follow up with her if we want.
Yeah, that'd be great. And we're happy to join you.
I did get a thing from home that they're doing some regularly scheduled hard hat tours,
Yeah.
like Friday afternoons. So I don't know if maybe Cody was gonna try to get us on one of those.
Okay.
We'd love to see the progress because it's been, I think it's been about, team, how long ago was it? Maybe 6 weeks ago? 2 months ago?
Like October.
Yeah,
Yeah, it feels like it
Was
was
it
like
that
an
long ago? I can't even remember. Yeah, okay. Well, we did it and it had a long way to go. So I'd love to see it again.
Is there anything that we want to put on next month's agenda? No, nothing's coming up.
Hey, Trace.
Well, we'll have
when are you
lots to
gonna,
present.
Trace, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Chair. It's Heidi Hansen. I was wondering, are you going to be doing BBB renewal on, if it's not May, it will need to be on the June agenda.
Right.
I think you'll have to be on the June agenda. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
We did send an email. I can't recall where we landed on that, but it was either May or June. So
Yeah, I'm thinking June would make more sense because we have to get through a work session at council in May. So we can't we wouldn't be coming. Well, anyway, I'll work that offline with you, Trace, but I just wanted you to all be aware that we'll be bringing some information forward.
yeah, we certainly will. And then we'll get with Carrie and get it on the agenda. Thank you, Heidi.
Perfect. And then with that, we'll adjourn. We will be meeting next month, April 25th. Location TBD. Here?
Carrie.
Here. Right there. We'll be here.
Thank you.
Right here.
Same seat. Same seat. Everyone take the same seat.
With pictures. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Right back.